Alright guys, KC's Nation here. I figured I'd do a product review on something I've recently obtained. It's the Coleman Folding Saw. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got the Coleman Folding Saw here. It's you can get it for about $8 or $10 at Walmart, Kmart, depending wherever Coleman stuff is sold. And what I have to say about this is you get what you pay for. An $8 folding saw is an $8 folding saw. And what I mean by that, you'll see in a minute. Ultimately, it's good for the price, but if you really want a folding saw to carry on your person for like a 3-day hike or so, I'd find something else. I found about 3 flaws in this system, which I don't like about it. Let's get to it. So the first flaw is the blade isn't locked in place by anything. There's no spring or anything just to hold it from moving. It can freely fall out as it wants to. And I guess you could probably tighten this screw here and prevent that, but then it makes it harder to get out. But yeah. The second flaw that I found is the locking mechanism for the blade doesn't engage until the blade is already out. And then you have to manually lock the blade with this thing that should be on a toolbox, not a folding saw. It goes up and then it locks the blade in place and it keeps it from moving. I don't like this design because it's another thing I have to do to get my saw out. So I want to get my saw out, I'll get it out, I have to do this, and do this, and do this, and now use it. And it's just, maybe I'm spoiled, but I don't like doing a lot when using my tools. I want my tool to work instantly, not have to prep it 5 times before I can even cut away at something. So, yeah. The third flaw that I've found is when the blade is closed, they've put a nice hole here in the handle so you could clip it onto so you could possibly clip this handle onto like a lanyard or a carabiner and hang it on the side of your pack or your person. But the problem is the blade, when it goes into its seated position, it blocks that hole. So what's the purpose of putting a hole there if you can't use it, if the blade's going to be in the way? If you want to use the hole, then the blade's going to be sitting out here the whole time. Or if you do put a thing in there and you do close the blade, it's going to end up cutting your whatever you put in there up. Either if it's paracord, it'll just end up cutting the paracord apart. So that's something I don't like. But for cutting action, it cuts alright. It cuts big stuff better than it cuts small stuff, basically. I think Coleman's philosophy with this was, if you can break it by hand, you should. If you can't break it by hand, then use this. But so that's the real cutability. If I want to cut some stuff into this, like cut some real fine tinder off of this log here, I can. But if I wanted to cut something thin, like this bamboo's real thin in its size and its thickness. It's not the best to be cutting with because the blade is double serrated and it's more for cutting bigger things. But overall, like I said, you get what you pay for. An $8 to $10 folding saw is an $8 to $10 folding saw. So this has been KC's Nation for the product review of the Coleman Folding Saw. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and catch you later.